On the first game review I ever made, I got a comment requesting that I review the Mega Man games. And you know what? That's a really good idea, so I'm gonna do it. In fact, I really love getting requests, so if you have any, please send them in. First up is Mega Man 1, which was the only Mega Man game I played before I came back to YouTube. So let's get into it, I guess. I really need to come up with some better segues. Capcom has this weird ability to make amazing sequels to pretty bad games. Street Fighter 1 is almost completely unplayable, and then they went and made Street Fighter 2, which is a masterpiece. They followed the awful Devil May Cry 2 with Devil May Cry 3, which is one of the best games ever made. And of course, their Mega Man series, which has been going on for almost 40 years, started with the pretty generic and forgettable Mega Man 1. I played it for the first time a year ago and thought it was just okay, honestly. Then I played Mega Man 2 about a month ago, and it was absolutely amazing. Mega Man 2 basically took everything that worked about this game and made it 50 times better. And there's a lot that works about this game. It's just that it's buried under so much annoying stuff that it's basically worthless now. The only thing that's really memorable about this one is the cover, for all the wrong reasons. It seriously might just be the worst cover for a game I've ever seen in my entire life. Did they not play the game before they designed the package? Mega Man is blue, he is not yellow, and he doesn't have a gun, he has an arm cannon. But on top of everything, it's just so ugly. Like, I wouldn't buy this game if I saw it in a store. Anyway, I should probably talk about the game now. You have a selection screen and you can choose between 6 different robot masters. The robot masters are the bosses for each stage, and beating them gives you a new weapon. I really like that it gives you 6 stages to choose from the very beginning. Each stage can actually be way easier if you get the right boss weapon before, and each robot master is weak to another robot master's weapon. For example, Fireman is weak to Iceman's weapon. Pokemon logic tells me that it should be the other way around, but whatever. My least favorite is easily the Iceman stage. Ice levels in general don't have the best track record, but this one is especially bad. It combines all of the worst possible things that a Mega Man level can have, as well as the worst things an ice level can have. Slippery and annoying controls? Check. Disappearing blocks? Check. An unfair platforming section with moving platforms over a bottomless pit? You'd better believe that's a check. The only thing that brings this level up in my book is that there are flying penguin robots. That's pretty dope, not gonna lie. Also, Iceman is pretty easy, so you're probably not going to have to play this level multiple times. My second least favorite is Bomb Man, mostly just because his stage is really long and annoying. I've got to give a special shout out to these guys who are the bane of my existence. They have their shields up like 98% of the time, and whenever you try to jump over them, they jump with you. Another dishonorable mention goes to this area. How on earth is it fair to have an enemy that shoots in 8 different directions and is invincible 90% of the time? Oh, and did I mention that you have to platform over spikes while you're dealing with it? It also contains a copy-pasted section right before the boss, which isn't fun at all. And Bomb Man is one of the harder robot masters, so you're probably going to die a lot anyway fighting him. To be fair though, Bomb Man is a pretty good boss. He's hard, but he has a pattern which makes him pretty easy to read. He feels pretty fair, unlike the boss right after him, which we will get to. Number 4 is Guts Man. And if you've played this game, you know why I put him this low. This platforming bit at the start of the level probably gave a lot of people PTSD. No joke, I think it actually took me an hour to do this the first time. I managed to do it on my first try this playthrough though. A piece of advice I can give you if you're struggling is jump half a second earlier than you think you need to. Other than that, the level is pretty easy actually. Gutsman isn't a particularly hard boss. All he really does is just jump around and throw rocks at you. Speaking of which, the weapon you get from him also lets you throw stuff. Honestly, it kind of feels too situational to be helpful, but it's kinda cool. Number 3 is Fireman. I don't really have much to say about him or his stage, he's pretty forgettable. Throughout his entire stage, there are these pillars of fire that shoot out of the floor. They're pretty cool, I guess. Next up is Cutman, who's literally just a robot with scissors on his head. This stage is probably the best one to start out with. both because it's really easy and the weapon you get is pretty useful. I should mention that the levels I talk about less are pretty good. It's just that I don't have much to complain about. What I can complain about is these pogo stick enemies that appear at the end of like every single level. They do an insane amount of damage if they hit you, and they almost definitely will hit you because they're extremely hard to avoid. The aforementioned boss of the level, Edward Scissorhead, is pretty easy. His scissors basically work as a boomerang, and it's really easy to dodge them. The good news is they're really useful once you get to use them yourself. And my favorite level of the 6 is Elec Man's. Pretty much the only reason that it's my favorite is the music, which is absolutely beautiful. It's not perfect though. For one, there are sections that repeat themselves. In fact, there are like 2 or 3 of them. Like, what about these sections of climbing a ladder was so good that they felt the need to put them in a second time? Also, if you beat Gutsman before, you can get this other thing. If you didn't beat Gutsman before, well then, tough luck, I guess. You're not allowed to replay stages, so if you miss something, you miss something. After you beat all 6 Robot Masters, you get to go to Dr. Wily's stage, which is by far the worst in the entire game. You know those obnoxious pogo stick enemies? Well, they're back now, and there are like 50 of them at the very start of the level. But don't worry, this is only the beginning of your misery. This level is just a smorgasbord of all of the worst parts of the other levels. It has the flame pillars, the insta-kill spikes, the platforms that shoot at you. Throw in the disappearing blocks and the moving platforms from Gutsman's stage and it would be perfect. Oh, and did I mention you have to do all of this on just 3 lives, or else you have to go back to the beginning of the level? But the cherry on top is the boss, the Yellow Devil. Oh boy, the Yellow Devil. At first you think that the boss is nothing, but then these yellow things come in from the left and they kill you. I genuinely don't think it's possible to dodge all of the pieces. But if you manage to survive all of the yellow frisbees, what do you get as a reward? You get a window to shoot him that lasts about 2 seconds. The best way to fight him is to just pause and unpause because that actually works to hit him multiple times. That's the only reason I ever managed to beat this game back then. Without that oversight, I genuinely don't think this boss would be possible. Even if I used save states, I probably couldn't have beaten him. And you know what? I didn't beat him on this playthrough. He was too hard, and I gave up. I already beat it before, so I don't feel that bad. I remember that after the Yellow Devil, you have to fight all of the Robot Masters again, and then you fight Wily and this big robot thing. But that was nowhere near as hard as this. I mean, it was still pretty hard, but, like, it was beatable. So you know what? I give up, and I'm not ashamed of it. So that was Mega Man, and in conclusion, it wasn't great. The only things it does well are its controls and its music, which is really good. Other than that, every part of it is done better in Mega Man 2, to the point where there's pretty much no reason to ever play this game. But how does this game compare to the other games I've ranked? Well, as of right now, it's pretty low. It's nowhere near as bad as Donkey Kong Jr. Math, so I'll give it that. But at the same time, I can't put it above anything else. The reason it's so low compared to everything else is because it is infuriating. It can be so annoying to run out of lives at the end of a stage and have to go all the way back to the beginning. And the Yellow Devil might just be the most annoying boss ever created by another human being. Either that or the Bed of Chaos. I'm having trouble deciding, but whatever. Unless you want to have a bad day, don't play this game. Anyway, 4 out of 10. Also, thank you all for 300 subscribers, it means a lot. Bye.